Hey, what's up everybody? It's Corey with Corey Hall Fitness. Today we're going to be talking about 3 things that you may not be doing when performing the pull-up. And they're 3 important things, so make sure you listen and watch. When doing the pull-up, form is key. So I want to give y'all a little bit of a tip, secret, whatever you want to call it. When I do the pull-up, or when I used to do the pull-up, I would really only be using my biceps. It would wear my biceps down. I would notice that my arms would just go completely numb because I was putting too much pressure and relying on my biceps too much rather than using my back also. And what I mean by that, when I was just using my bicep, this is how my pull-ups would look. Which is fine, but for me, I'm trying to beat the world record for most pull-ups in 1 minute, which right now is 43. So I need to be able to last as long as I can on that bar and have the most muscle endurance as possible. So I need to be using more than just one muscle. So I needed to be able to figure out, how I'm going to use my back more. And so what I started doing is I started pulling out, okay? And that forces you to use your back. So you want to, when you come up, you almost want to arch your back a little bit, and that way you're putting more pressure on your back rather than just your biceps. So it's just like that. Instead of me just coming straight up, I'm using my back, and I'm in my head mentally thinking, okay, I'm gonna start using my back once I come up. And that's how you control your muscle. You have to mentally be in it and say that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. That way you're doing it. You don't just want to go up there and start doing pull-ups and not be focusing on what muscle you're using. You have to think about what you're doing. Now we're going to focus on how we're going to be using our body, and what type of form are we going to be having. How is our body just going to be sitting there when we're holding on to the bar? What I like to do, and what I see a lot of people I call professional pull-up athletes who do pull-ups and have gotten the world record now or attempting it just like me, they like to do this stance right here when they do pull-ups. And that's basically, you got your legs open, there's a slight bend to them, which you'll always see me have a little bit of a slight bend, legs open, and one thing they're focusing on is core, okay? Your core is going to keep your body straight. It's going to stop you from swinging and swaying, which takes a lot of strength and energy out of you, and it's what keeps you grounded. So your legs, that keeps you balanced. That's why we keep them open, and there's a little bit of a slight bend. You'll notice that you'll have more control. So once you focus on your core and your legs, and once you implement those together, you're going to notice that your body's able to stay still. You're able to control it instead of wasting so much energy on stopping your body from swinging, and you can't figure out why it's doing it. Well, I'm giving you a tip right now that's really going to help that. I promise it will. So I'm going to do about 4 or 5 and show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to focus on my core. I've got my feet, my legs right where I want them to be. Okay? It's just how you do it. Last tip that I'm going to give you is about breathing, okay? When I do it, and what a lot of people do is when you come up from the pull-up, you exhale when you come all the way to the top of the bar. So I get my chin over the bar, and I'm going to exhale. So it's, okay? That helps me to keep going. That helps me to be able to control my body more, to be able to control my lungs and control my breathing. Okay, that's just a very important thing. If you're holding your breath the whole time, you're just going to run out of energy. If you're not breathing correctly, you're going to run out of energy. This is a very, very important thing to do. And you'll notice that if you ask anybody, how can I get more pull-ups? And one thing they're always going to tell you is watch your breathing. That's something that everyone can agree on, is breathing is key, controlling your breathing. Okay, like I said with the first tip with arching your back, well, you got to put your mind almost in your back. You got to be able to focus and say, okay, Now I'm going to implement my back. Well, you have to do the same thing with breathing. It's not like you're just walking around every day and you're not noticing how you're breathing. This is completely different. It's all got to be controlled. Alright, with all that being said, I'm going to see how many I can do in a minute. I don't have my stopwatch on me, but usually I can knock out about 40 in less than a minute. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. I'm going to shoot for 40. Oh, that last one was bad. That's it. I was about 39, 40. Probably still got some time left to go. It's hard, man. Did you hear my breathing while I was doing it? Control the breathing. Control your muscle. Focus on the right muscle. You'll be able to rep out more. Hey, make sure you subscribe. Thanks, y'all.